And Uncle Sam said, yeah. He said, who told you I wanted your money? I said, the tax attorney, Uncle. He said, well, you went to an attorney. That's a Latin word for he who turns words of the deaf, dumb, mute, and ignorant people. So when you came to him, he already told you had $1 million in the public. I said, yeah. He said, well, put it on $1 million in the tax form. I said, yeah. He told me to hide it. Uncle Sam said, I never asked you to hide it because I never asked for the money. He said, if you had $1 million in the public, why you ain't putting it on some of these tax forms over here to show, and that would have kept these books balanced. Then I ain't got to create a police officer to come get the form of fees in other ways because you reneged on turning in taxes or being accountable for your money.
Right.
See, Uncle Sam never asked for money. Everybody keep telling you he asked for money when he didn't ask for no money. He asked that whatever you doing, put it on a tax form. I don't care if you bought a pencil. I don't care if you got gambling. I don't care if you bought some drugs. I got a tax form for it. Put it on here so I can return it for to you in the form of recoupment, tax credits, so we can keep these books balanced. Now cash, I'm going to have to come after you because see the cash is the trick. When there's cash, I think you're laundering since you ain't put it on the tax form, so I got to audit you.
Right.
So I never asked for cash. Whenever he sent the tax credits to my accounts, I send them back and spend them on the debit card that was already attached to the crowd.
Right.
When I have to go and get a Mercedes-Benz or a house, there's no discharging the bill. You actually have to file the tax form to ask on the tax form what's the routing number and the account number of the person who is my mortgager. I put their information on these tax forms. So when Uncle Sam try to pay me, he don't pay me, he pay them that money. They release a load of your titles to me. I take that title and put it in the form of a corporation because I'm going to throw it in the trust. And here's another key bit that I know y'all got to say, trust is. A trust is a gun in a knife fight. And you never tell nobody you brought the gun to the knife fight until you start losing. So don't tell nobody you got a trust. Everybody around here talking about trusts. Trusts are not fundable by banks. So you got all these trusts and you start trusts, they won't fund you because banks don't fund trusts because trusts protect property.
That's right.
Trusts override mortgages, liens, and lines of credit.
That's right.
Trusts actually override the bank position of being a confiscation. So they can't recoup. So they can't get it from the trust. They can't get it from the trustee, and they can't put it on the person's personal credit. So those are 3 red flags that let you know when you come in the bank with the trust, why the bank say, let me see your ID so I can build a profile with you, which I'm not telling you because I need to attach you to the trust.
That's right.
Your trust is not properly structured or funded. So when you're paying $6,000 or $7,000 for these trusts and you give them, and they come in with some silver dollar certificates on paper, you didn't get nothing. You bought some expensive paperwork. Trusts is not to be told. Don't believe nobody who say they got a trust. Because you tell me you got a trust, I know where to beat you up and sue you to the point where you so beat up, you got to give me the trust. The judge going to award it to me, and I'm going to dismantle it from the inside out.
So all these people that are out here getting trust, when their stuff in trust, all the...
It's a backward organization.
Right.
What a trust was created for being one of the most powerful mechanisms for protecting something.
Right.
A bank is in business to take things.
Right.
So why would we actually loan to an entity that's the most powerful in protecting things we can't take?
Yeah,
A bank won't loan to it.
right.
You would have to regurgitate that vomit. I mean, bring that asset out of the trust so the bank can put a lien on it, and then you can get some line of credit. Because if the bank don't loan to trust, so off the rip, you don't need to make your name a business name, because if you make your name a business name and you authenticate the birth certificate, that means that every bill that comes in your name is your bill.
Right.
Oh, okay, so it can't be offset or discharged. If anybody come to you and say, hey man, I can discharge your debt, run. It's not called discharge. This is Miss Nikki Love. If I came to her and say, how you doing, Sparkle? She gonna, how you talking about? Ain't my name. So if that ain't her name, how can I go ahead and get the birth bond when it's not called a birth bond, but claim to have it when it's called exemplification for record?
Right.
So you don't have the birth bond. You got the birth certificate for $26. And you were so smart, you bought 3 more copies. Oh boy, I know some rocks outside right now. A little bit smarter than these guys, you know what I mean? But I want y'all to just listen to the fact, man. There is no trust and no need to get in there. There's nothing. The only thing you need to be worried about if you got kids, do an S corporation. If you don't got kids, do a C corporation. Make the entity sound white on paper to go in the white bank to get the white money with your black self. And what I mean by that,
You can say it with your black ass.
okay, well then,
With your black ass. Okay?
that's what I want to say. You got to make it right with your black ass.
Right.
Because see,
Right.
I got to take Miss Nikki Love, that's M-N-L. And here's God Kisalu. So I would say NLK for Nikki Love and Kisalu. I would say NLK Investment Holdings Group. NLK